All right, good afternoon, YouTube. It's me, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. And here we have my sidekick, my hand at the Emperor, Jared. And I hope y'all folks enjoyed your weekend. Just one more week until Gobble Gobble Thing. And also, for y'all who follow my channel, I got this weekend coming on Friday will be my 47th birthday.
Oh,
So, we appreciate y'all. Hey, I got a Cash App, I got a PayPal, and also I got a Venmo. So if you want to send a little donation, hey, I'm not too far to take it. So anyway, folks, this weekend, last weekend, what we might say, was the Romanian MuscleFest. The show has been around for I think 2017, and it was a show that was created by Alina Popa. Alina Popa is one of the legends. She's a two-time Olympia runner-up. She's a women's French champion. She's an ambassador. She has trained many women, such as my good friend Tina Williams. She's trained several women outside of bodybuilding, and she's a legend. And she's created a show in her hometown, her home country, Romania, and to support and promote the sport of bodybuilding. And and it was a pretty decent show. If you follow my channel or just follow what's going on, the show had a very small lineup, and it was only 8 ladies competing at the show. Now, notables that was competing was Myla Ash and Nadia Capasoto. Some of the other ladies, I'm not going to pronounce their name. Too many of them there. Very foreign names, very difficult to say, and I don't want to offend them by chopping them up. But it was 8 lovely ladies who competed the show. Like I said, we got my man here, Jared, and we're gonna do a critique, and we're gonna talk about the show. Also, we're gonna dip into the other division, Physique, and I'll get my man Jared. So you take it right ahead, Jared.
yeah. So I did buy the the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Just going a little dead at the moment. The pay-per-view for the Romania Pro.
So did you buy the Sunday show? Because that's where the pros were playing. Because on the Saturday it was the amateurs. The amateurs, that's the show where they get to earn their pro card. Because this was a pro am show, and we got a couple of new competitors. Also, notably, we got a new lady representing female bodybuilding.
Yeah. I didn't actually watch the amateurs yet. I still got to watch that. So I don't really know what happened at the amateur show. I did watch a little bit of the pro show, and I can give my thoughts on it.
I say, okay, brother, just go ahead and get your thoughts.
I think Anastasia should have won, honestly. From what I remember in the people talking, giving commentary, they went with the most massive, most developed of the amateurs in women's bodybuilding division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think.
But for some reason, I don't think they did it for the pro.
Yeah, from what conversations I've been talking with some of the ladies, the thing is they really want to try to get away from, I think, the more massive women, because one thing is they're trying to get female bodybuilder to be more recognized, to get more attention. That's good, where you get more sponsors and more financial support. But like I said, many of the fans are fans of the more massive women. It's just, especially the MuscleFest. I think the last couple of years, it's been women who've been really, I would say, true bodybuilders. They've won the show, like Virginia Sanchez, Muna Grusario, also Monique Jones, who Monique was like, Monique's been one of the biggest women in the sport. But I think the one thing is trying to get away from it. Now, as you know, Myla Ash was at the show, And the big question is like Bella Ash, she took third. So do you think that that's the right placing, or it could have been better?
My last probably got. I wasn't really too upset with that placing. I think third was probably okay with that. I did have a problem with first. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but the lady who won first.
Nadia, just say Nadia. We're not going to say the
Nadia.
last name. Yeah, Nadia. We're not going to say it's Nadia Coppa Soto, but we're just going to say Nadia for some people who don't have a who don't want to chop up her name and too bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I didn't like her physique that much. I thought she ranked way too high for where she was at. Um, and just don't get like why they went with her.
Well, with her because
Why they went with her.
well with her her physique is a little.
Sorry, are you hearing an echo?
Yeah, do you get it on with her physique?
Oh, I got that.
Yeah.
Sorry, are you hearing an echo?
Yeah, do you get it on
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got that correct. But like I said, with her physique, Nadia's physique was more, I think, what a lot of what they want to go back to the classic look of I would say the mid '90s. Kind of like before, I think like Sandy Ray Dow or Laura Craval, like I mentioned in another video, or Denise Rosowski, or I'm trying to think of this. There was a lot of great, before Kim Tversky really got huge. Between I think when Kim Tversky was like '96 to '97, and
Counterpoint. We already have that kind of division. It's called women's physique.
yes, but they wanted to be in also that that's what they also wanted to be more in bodybuilding with women's physique. As you know, if you heard the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic dropped women's bodybuilding women's physique for his lineup. Yeah, women's physique lineup, and what they want to do is they want to go back for physique. They want to go back to more like the '80s, like more closer to Corey Everson and Diane Dennis and or Angela Langer. And I stayed in contact with Nadia. I sent her some pictures and stuff. She would appreciate it, and I felt like it was going to be when we showed the pictures of the show. I think most likely I knew well looks of it because I'm really taking lessons from some of the ladies here, some of the guys here in the sport, and we pay attention. That I knew they were probably going to go between her and Bronca, because Bronca, she has some of the features that was very, she's a little, I think, a little bit more petite, and her features are, I think, the features that they want to see. You see Bronca right here. Her and Bronca were both in the middle at the show, and even though, like I said, you had Anastasia on the outside right here, and you had Marlon on the other side, and that's what they want to go with. They want to go with the features that are more conducive for the sport. They want for your bodybuilding to be successful, but at the same time, yes, they don't want to as us the fans, they don't want to just take away from what we want. But the truth is that they were looking for the particular physique that try to bring in more substance to the division. It's still, even though bodybuilding, it has bounced back, but it is really the people that keep it going, like a guy like Jake Woods and Linda Murray. That's keeping it surviving.
Yeah. I mean, feel like the people keeping it going, even above them, are the fans, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know you're talking about.
I'm not a particularly big fan of some of these kind of moves. I'm not a particular fan of some of the judging at all. I mean, what I've learned over the last year, it's basically just one person judging it, and they can always just stack it in their favor every time.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I learned like this, like you have the head judge, and he can like even though if the other judges say okay, we want to go with this person, he can override because he's the head judge, and he like as back in 2013 2014, if they wanted to get away from the look of Iris Kyle, they could have gave the Olympia to Alina. And then I feel like this, it gave to Lena, they would have kept it up to Goyen because he had the champion that people would like. She's attractive. She has great muscle. I mean, that was somebody they probably went with. But you know what? The judges, they go by their feelings. I won't say their feelings so much, but they go by what they see, what they can tell. Maybe some feelings might be involved in it also, but they go by what they see and tell, and from the experience. Many judges are former competitors. Many judges are trainers. I mean, it's just but there's so much particular to being judged. That's why I say I couldn't be a judge. I mean, I don't, I respect these guys, but I just couldn't be a judge. Now, this is a picture from Myla Ash when she was at the show, and Myla looked pretty good. But I was talking with some people. Myla has been dealing with some medical issues, because I know someone told she also. I remember she was on IG. She said she had some issues with one of her foot, and that could help. That could have really affect her posing. I'm not sure it was the right or the left foot, but it's one of her feet because when you're posing, you got to be able to move and stand a certain way, and that pain can get to you. So maybe that could have affected her how she placed. If she had if it wasn't her for those issues, I think she probably could have won the show.
Yeah, I generally agree. I am shocked that well, basically it wasn't okay. I wanted Anastasia first, and then second would have been I'm not gonna lie, I cannot remember the names for the most part, so I'm gonna just go by the country. The Croatian female.
Oh yeah,
Branka.
Bronca.
I do remember her all too well because she won the Miss International Amateur.
Sure.
Yes, it was the Miss International Amateur way back in the day. I'm talking like way back.
Sure was Bronca, because
I'm almost 100% positive. I remember that name. I remember that country.
Or was it she won? I know she was
the Miss International Amateur. You're hearing me, right?
Yeah, the one they had with Chicago Pro, right?
No. This is like this was with the Arnold Classic.
Oh, so yeah, this is the other Miss. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that was overseas because sometimes Arnold has a bunch of shows. He has shows in overseas, shows in.
I think that was held at the Classic, though.
Yeah, I think he had a bunch of shows all over the world because he's a name brand. And like I said, so, one lady who I think she might have a future if she is Tia Flex. I think it's Tia Holzes. I mean, I got it even wrong. She's from South Africa, and I think there's a good chance that we might see more of her in the future. She turned pro some time ago, and then she I think for everything went down, she's in South Africa, but I don't say Africa, and couldn't travel too much. So she was a Physique competitor. She switched to Women's Open.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think she is the compromise choice between the most extreme physiques with Anastasia, and then the other physiques. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that. And the big debate is that with with Romania is you can go in and go out, and they didn't have a crowd. So I think one thing theory is why a lot of competitors didn't come because there was not much of a crowd. It was one like couple people I was surprised that didn't make the show, especially Virginia Sanchez.
Yeah.
I was certain she was going to compete because hey, this was an opportunity to get another shot at the Olympia again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any reason why?
Well, I know one time she said that one time when she was competing and she had enough points. If it was back in 2020, she said she didn't want to go because she got an invitation to do the Rising, and I followed on social media. She said that because of the cost of doing quarantine, because of she had a son, she didn't leave him behind, and anything. But like I said, she lives in Spain, so it'd be easier for her to travel around in Europe than it is to back and forth to the United States. It could be like the cost of just doing the Olympia, because she had to do a quarantine before she did the Olympia, and then she probably had to do a quarantine back, before she got back to Spain. So that might have really, she might have just needed, her body to rest, so because of stress of doing all that. Because you can't, like I said, it's a lot to maintain. You do 2 weeks here, even if you try to work out, try to maintain yourself, then you got to go back, and then didn't do another show no more than a month after the Olympia. I think that might be a little thing that Mommy said she might want to take a step back and let her body to revive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your opinions of who you think that should have been there that you feel like it was missing?
I'm not a particular. Yeah, Virginia was missing. There was another lady that forget her name exactly.
You know her country. You know her.
From Romania too.
Oh, Una. Yes. Well, I follow her also on social media. Una said she was doing the show, and usually, being she's from Romania, she took a step back from this year because she hadn't done too good the last couple of shows. She might have got as far as top, not I think as high as top five in a couple of shows, and I think she's taking a step back because Una, she has one of I would say the greatest abs in the sport next to Roxana Edwards, Body Priest, a couple of others. I can't think off the top of my head, but she's a mother. She has kids. She probably wants to take some time, and also if she trains other people, she wants to take some time and maybe we might see her come back next year. Once if you watch the news, that they're trying to open up the country to other countries. You got to be vaccinated, and if they do that, maybe we might see her come here and compete some shows in the States. Or like I said, there's still quite a few shows like the Portugal Pro, the Europa Championships, and next year's Romanian MuscleFest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna drop another name. I think I probably want to do a show is Margie Zemolova, and she has competed quite a few times. A couple of times as women's physique, and the last couple of times as women's open bodybuilding. And I'm surprised she didn't want to do a show, but I think with her, it's about the same. She had to do quarantine before she got here in the States to do the Olympia. And my guess is the expense and the cost, and she wanted to give herself some time to rest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, while we're here, I'm gonna dip into a division that is, it's like I say, not people, not a lot. It's a growing division. I'm greatly become a fan of it because many ladies I've talked to, I follow on social media, I've done interviews with, and that is women's physique. And to me, women's physique has some of those decent qualities that of female bodybuilding. They, as you know, recently, like I said again, Arnold Schwarzenegger walked quiet behind Fear Bodybuilding and stabbed in the heart when he, didn't show any shows at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic this year, and now decided to take it out of the lineup. So really, it has, really got itself in the place the same as women's bodybuilding. But there's person ladies in this show. This is, the winner of that show is Anne Moon. Anne Moon is from France. She has, just like Nadia, this was her second Olympic qualification in one season. She earned the qualification a few months back at the Europa Championship. Competed Olympia. I think she got as high as 11 at that show, and then turns around, come here, and that's the thing is, if she can take the time, and do the points like that, and pop and do women's physique, the question is, because there was originally 24 women. When I talked to Nadia, was on that list. I talked to her on IG. She told me that it was a mistake. She switched over, and two other more women jumped along with her. And I think some women might have dropped out. I think it was originally 24, and I think it was Nadia, and I think it was three more women, I believe, because it was originally four, then Nadia, that's five, and three more women who I think were doing women's physique dropped over to women's open bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like I say, Anne, I said before, Anne has, I think, a great physique. She, I like this. She has some qualities that would make a great bodybuilder. I think she's a bit more, I would say, leaner compared to the likes of some of the women competing. But as long as she's doing, as long as she's placing well, like winning shows like the Europa, winning shows like the MuscleFest, she's competed the MuscleFest quite a few times. Anne's not going to switch. I don't see her switching anytime soon. And it's she's just really impressive. It's just Anne in the middle. One lady who I felt was gonna get, felt like she's gonna do pretty good at the show was Carolina Alvarez Santos. She wanted to compete at the Olympia, but stuff happened. She, it was the bad luck of the costs of traveling because of travel restrictions. She couldn't make the show for the Olympia. She earned that by winning the last year's Romanian MuscleFest, but she took second at this show. And then, the other competitor who is, I'm not going to pronounce the name, there's some pretty impressive women in this division. And you might be seeing maybe, one lady I followed, Gemma Lancaster from Great Britain. She did not, I don't think she might have made a top 10. Like I said, I hadn't seen the final score sheet yet. And, she looks pretty impressive. She could have, could be possibly, from what I follow on social media, she could possibly be, a future candidate for female bodybuilding. If she don't do well in any shows, if she don't crack the top 10, or she's still just, barely getting in, placings, this is what some women do. If they don't do too well in placing, they often switch and jump over to women's open.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what you think?
Yeah, I generally agree. Not gonna lie, I don't really know too much about the women's physique category. At least placing here, didn't really watch. But yeah, I generally do agree with your assessment.
But like I said, I wasn't too big a fan, but I'm really getting into it because the ladies who I did interviews with, Kristen Lynn, the lovely Miss Mary Ann, I don't say his name last name. A couple ladies who I've been doing quite a few interviews. Daphne Carter, who just had a birthday just last week, happy birthday to Daphne, and a couple ladies who compete in that division. And it is, like I said, everybody knows the idea of it was to be a substitute for women's bodybuilding, to be alternative for a lot of competitors. But the way things are going now, the women are getting much bigger. they're getting larger, and judges are telling some women you might want to switch. And some have done it pretty. Like we mentioned, Mila, she was doing a show. Then no more than a week after that show, her. I think also Jada told me her and Jada were told to switch to women's bodybuilding, and she switched, gets wins the New York Pro, then turns around and make top four at the 2020 Olympia, and she's doing pretty good. It's quite like Shauna Boswell, who was also physique, who switched to got enough points to compete in last year's Olympia, and then qualified by winning the Savannah Pro. I know a lot of the hardcore fans are not too big of fans, but it's still women's bodybuilding. It's just a different level. It's like I would say closer to I would say lightweight. It's closest to middleweight. If you look at the figure women are just about as muscular as some of I would say lightweight female bodybuilders. They may not do the same poses and stuff like that. It's more supposed to be more towards it between like bikini, and it takes from fitness. But these women, there's some women who have transitioned from that sport to women's physique, and sometimes in transitions from that to women's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I say, and this was the show.
And I saw the one Czech girl. I think she was actually doing physique poses, even though she was in the female bodybuilding division.
Yeah, I remember a while back at the Puerto Rico Pro, Heather Grace, who's been competing in women's physique, she made a mistake when she has to remember when you're doing women's bodybuilding, you can't do you got to get away from the posing. What she should have did was her trainer took some time and went over the posings, because as you know, women's bodybuilding, their posing is supposed to be similar to that as the men. They do 7 mandatory poses. You have front lat spread, front double, rear lat spread, rear double, side chest, tricep, and ab. And in women's physique, they're only doing 5: front double, rear double, tricep, side chest, and ab. And they do those to be more feminine. Like if you ever watch it, the ladies take their hands and put them out forwards and push out their chest when they do the side chest, instead of when the women in women's bodybuilding, they do like the men. They do like a bicep pose and kind of like poke the chest out, let's say. And one thing that might be similar is with the rear and front doubles, where when women do it in bodybuilding, they clench their fists and make 2 double biceps, while women's physique, they have their fists open, so it'll be more feminine. They don't do the front lat spread, but I've seen some pictures of some women in some shows doing the front lat spread. They say it's too muscular of a pose, but because you really show your lat development. But there's some female physique competitors who have great lat development. Especially, I think, like I was looking at Blanca, she's one of those. Now I'm gonna pull up the lady who won her pro card. She's from Russia. She wins, and I don't want to chop up her name right now, and she's pretty impressive. I think the last 2 women who won in their amateur card was Anastasia and Natalia, and she and both of them was from the country of the West, in the red country of the West, and she looks impressive. I know. Here is I know my man AJ over at Human Body Channel. This is her Facebook page. It's private, so not a lot of pictures. And and I think there's a good chance that we might see some more of her in the future. It's all about once these restrictions lift, and the country's more open to other people. Oh, there goes my man Marcus Bell coming through, smashing that like. Thank you, Marcus, for coming through and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. And maybe we might see her in some more shows. Maybe like the Portugal Pro, also the Europa Championships. I think a lot of people love to see her come. Probably it was another Russian competitor, Victoria from Russia, who competed at the both. I think she did the Omaha, and she did the I think Savannah Pro, or the Norfolk Pro. I think she's Omaha and Norfolk Pro. But like I said, Russia puts out some like her, Natalia K, Natalia Anastasia L, Anastasia A, and also the other Natalia uh, uh, Kovalova. These are impressive women. Russia has just a great generation of women of muscle.
Yeah, Russia is a long tradition going way back.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I was trying to remember some Russian women that competed in boxing. Not that many. I think a good number of women that competed that was brown, like some Germans, like Kristen Bach. You know, phew, there was a Jana Linka Specko from Austria. I think maybe a couple women from Czech Republic, but not as many as Russians there are now.
Yeah.
hmm But I said, this was a quick show. It's just so much is going on. Like I said, with the Romanian Muscle Fest, it's one of the last shows for. Well, I wouldn't say one of the second last show for the season for women's bodybuilding. We got in December coming up is the Toronto Pro, and I don't know if they're gonna see any bodybuilders from the United States. Canada, they have their restrictions. You can come in unless you have a medical or absolute reason to get in Canada. Even though United States have lifted their restrictions, Canadians can come here, but I think Canada's still kind of strict on theirs. But I'm hoping to see some great female bodybuilding at that show. Maybe some more names. I think I'll talk with some ladies that a lot of ladies don't want to do out of the country. Sometimes about politics or just the cost of traveling there and back and all that. I mean, I remember I saw that with Tisha Thomas did the Romanian Muscle Fest that year on her Iron Tigress documentary. And it was a lot of text on it. She got sick. She had taken time to recover, even though she looked great to me. Tisha looked great at that show. She just didn't places where she should. So, what's your opinion, brother?
Yeah, I don't understand why she plays so low. Do you have a reason why?
Well, I think she said mostly politics, and then she, didn't look as good as she wanted to for that show. I remember when I said we talked about it. I think we talked about it. It's been a while. I said this. I think I reached out to a couple ladies who did a show a while back. They told me to say it was politics sometimes. Is the judges are there, or mostly there are basic judges that live in Europe. Sometimes they go with the more popular person, more look. The person that really do well. And so sometimes the traveling and day in and that, and it can really stress on your body. Sometimes there's some women who have looked good for the left, and they just flatten out by the time they get there, and then they only have so much time to try to get ready, for the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call it jet lag. I've never been on a plane. I don't know if I would want to. I'm talking about traveling out of states, maybe going to Canada or, I don't know, Mexico, something like that. Overseas, that's too much shot right now. What about you? What do you think about traveling?
Not at the moment.
Yeah, I think not like things going. Like I said, but this was a pretty good conversation. We get some good information. Folks, like I said, if you want, you can still watch the Marine Muscle Fest. They'll probably show it again if you want to watch it. Check out, support all these competitors, all the men and women who competed the show. Also, check out our channel. Check out me on All the Way George page on YouTube. Check out my man Jared. We do this because we like to support with just generally bodybuilding in general, but especially the ladies. They need support. And, this is and just realize this is our number 60 of Muscle Talk Mondays. 60. Wow. I mean,
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
And
60.
your birthday's coming up, right? You're 47.
Yeah, it's 47 coming up this Friday. So, like again, folks, if you see, I have a PayPal, a Cash App, and a Vimo. So, if you ever know, got a few bucks you want to donate, hey, I'm cool with it.
So we'll definitely send you a shout out regardless, King.
Yeah, that's good too. Anything shout out and appreciation. Like I said, my channel is almost at 700 subscribers. I mean 600, and all I need is a few more people to get me over the top, and maybe by next year we can get to 1,000. Because like I said, I want to support these ladies in this sport. They have a hard time. This is bodybuilding in general is more people might say is the poor man's sport, and it just not as much money as it should be. They, as there's a lot more risk than reward there should be for some people. You really have to brand yourself as a competitor and as a person to really really get some out of this. But
Yep.
well,
Pay
yeah,
with your sport. I mean, pay with your dollars.
mhm.
Okay, George, I gotta head on out. But you have a good one. Enjoy
All
your
right,
birthday.
all right, you too. You have a great one, brother. Anyway, like I said, that was my man Jared, aka the hand of the emperor. I'd like to appreciate y'all folks coming through, supporting my channel, supporting us, and supporting the sport of bodybuilding. Use me all the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. We're closing out the 60th episode of Muscle Talk Mondays. Don't like, subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm out.